how your heart pumps blood and all. That is animal. Is the projector on? No. Transporting animals. Chapter 8, I guess, or 9? Chapter 9. Chapter 8 we will do after this. Okay, so since we did our different topics, so we continue with that. Alright, okay, so the first thing in the chapter is about circulatory system. Alright, you have learned the sequence of it, right? First is cell. After cell, cells combine to form tissue. Muscle and then organ.
Yeah, organ system and then organism.
Okay. Organ system and then organism. So circulatory system is also one of the organ system, right? So what other organ systems we have?
Digestive system.
Digestive system. Any other? Skeletal. Nervous system, muscular system, right? So circulatory system is a system that involves the blood vessels with a pump and valves to ensure one-way flow of blood. Alright, so circulatory system, which organ is involved? And which other organ is also indirectly involved? Lungs, right? So circulatory system involves the blood vessels. Also, the pumping organ is the heart and the valves. What do the valves do? Valves is like a door. Alright, so when blood goes through your heart, this is your heart. Through your heart, when it goes to your lungs, these valves are like a door. So these valves will close so that blood doesn't come back to the heart. It follows a pathway. Get it? Is this clear? So valves are actually to prevent the backflow of the blood or to keep it going in one direction. Okay? So what is the, okay, so first what you need to understand before following this whole thing, I just how many chambers do we have in our heart? 4. Do you know the names of those? You have learned in sophomore, I guess. You have learned those terms or not?
Yep.
You learned it like upper, lower, not like atrium, ventricle. No? Alright. Okay, so I want everyone to be attentive to understand the structure of heart first, because when you understand this, then only you can understand how it works. So basically, heart is, in humans, heart is how many chambers? 4 chambers. So what are those 4 chambers of heart? First, the top ones are called atrium. Okay, the bottom ones are called ventricle. Do you know these terms?
Yeah.
So this one is right atrium, right ventricle. This one is left atrium, left ventricle. Okay, I will give you time to write. Sakina. I will give you time to write, but first you try to understand it. Okay, so there are 4 chambers of heart: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. So first of all, okay, you need to understand this. Last time I did this drawing, yes. This one, remember? What is this? Arteries. What is this? Capillaries. And what was this? Veins. So arteries carry oxygenated or deoxygenated? What does it mean by oxygenated? Blood that has more oxygen and less carbon dioxide. Okay, that is called oxygenated blood. And then capillaries do what? Just exchange of substances. And then veins has the blood that is deoxygenated. That is less and more carbon dioxide. Okay, so I'm going to show oxygenated with red and deoxygenated with blue. Okay, so first of all our organs have arteries and veins, right? Like I told you last time, for kidney, what is the arteries and veins called? That is for heart. Hepatic is for liver. Renal, right? For kidney is renal artery and renal vein. For lungs is pulmonary. For heart is coronary. For liver is hepatic, right? Alright, so they have their own arteries and veins. So first of all, I'll just start from here. The deoxygenated blood from the veins, small veins join together to form a big vein that will bring the blood to our heart. Okay, our heart has one biggest vein that is called vena cava. Okay, I am drawing it like this, but it doesn't mean this is exactly how heart works. Alright, because normally after this blood goes up to the lungs, but I'm just making it simple first to make you understand it. Okay, later I will explain the other parts. So first of all the veins from kidney, from liver, from every organ, they carry the deoxygenated blood and bring it to the largest vein that is called vena cava. So that means small veins open up into a big vein. Get it? After vena cava, the blood goes to right atrium. Get it? After right atrium, okay, the valves part I will explain later. Then you will get confused. Actually, there is a valve here and there is a valve here. When blood enters to the right atrium, this valve will open and to let the blood go to the right ventricle. Once the blood reaches right ventricle, this valve will close and this valve will open to let it go forward. Understand? To prevent backflow of the blood. Understand? So right atrium and right ventricle. Should I tell the valve's name first or it will be confusing? Valve name? Okay. So the valve here at the right and the left side is togetherly called as atrioventricular valve. Atrioventricular valve. Atrio is from atrium, ventricular is from ventricle. So it's between atrium and ventricle, right? So now these ones, specifically the one that is on the right side, it is called as tricuspid valve. The left side one is called as bicuspid valve. Why it is called tri or bi? It's just how their structure looks like. Tri means 3. Bi means 2. So it's just their valve, their shape is like that. Understand? Now the blood goes to right ventricle. After right ventricle, where will the blood go? It will go to lungs. Because the blood right now is oxygenated or deoxygenated? How many lungs do we have? 2. Alright, so from right ventricle also there is a valve. Okay, so those valves are called semi-lunar valve. Okay, semi-lunar valve. Semi means half. Lunar is from moon. It looks like half moon shape. That's why they give it this name, semi-lunar valve. Okay. So now from there blood goes to our lungs through lungs. For lungs, what is the arteries and veins called? For lungs is pulmonary, right? Alright, normally arteries carry oxygenated or deoxygenated blood? Just for lungs, it is opposite. Okay, so here the deoxygenated blood will be carried by pulmonary artery or vein? Artery, right? So the blood goes to our lungs. What happens in lungs? Gas exchange happens, right? Oxygen comes in by breathing and carbon dioxide goes out. Now the blood becomes oxygenated, right? Now becomes oxygenated, isn't it? So now this oxygenated blood will be carried to the left atrium by pulmonary artery or vein? Vein, right? It's opposite. So now it goes to left atrium, then through which valve? Bicuspid valve, it will go to left ventricle, and then through semilunar valve, it goes to the biggest artery that is called as aorta. That biggest artery will bring blood to all the small arteries. All organs have their arteries, right? So it brings blood to small artery, and then this oxygenated blood goes to capillaries. Oxygen goes in, carbon dioxide goes out. Now the blood becomes deoxygenated. So this deoxygenated blood again goes to the heart. Get it? That's the whole cycle. Huh? Which part? Okay, I repeat everything again one more time. Okay. So there are 4 chambers of heart. What are these? Right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. Between right atrium and right ventricle there is a valve. And what are those valves called on the between atrium and ventricle? Anteroventricular valve. But they have specific name. The one at the right side is called tricuspid. The one at the left side is called. So first of all, and then the valves at the ventricle, what are these called? Semilunar valve, right? So now I explain the cycle. First of all, you know this part, right? Arteries carries oxygenated blood, veins carry. So first of all, the blood from arteries goes to capillaries, and then it becomes deoxygenated. So that deoxygenated blood goes through the veins into a bigger vein that is called vena cava. Vena cava will bring the blood to right atrium. Then this valve will open and the blood goes to, from the right ventricle, the blood goes through the semilunar valve. It will be carried by pulmonary. Normally arteries carries oxygenated and veins carry deoxygenated. Only for lungs it's opposite. So pulmonary artery brings the blood to the lungs. And what happens? Gas exchange. So blood becomes oxygenated. So this oxygenated blood will be carried by pulmonary vein to left atrium, and then from left atrium to the which valve? Specifically bicuspid, right? It will go to left ventricle, and from the left ventricle through the semilunar valve it will go to aorta. Aorta is the largest artery, and this will open the blood to all the small arteries, and then it goes to the capillaries, and again the cycle continues. Understand? Right? So I want you to draw this, but you have to do a flowchart form, like right atrium, then you put here tricuspid valve, then right ventricle, then where does it go? Follow, draw that.
Do this first and then you write the arrow.
Or if you want to do like this, also up to you, but this is very important, you simplify it. Okay? Try to if you want to draw, if drawing helps you to understand is okay. If you just, this one can, it's up to you. Whatever way helps you, draw it, or this drawing is just for understanding. The structure of heart is a bit different, later I will show you that. Huh? I said it's up to you. If you want to do that, or if you want to draw it like a flowchart form. You need to understand the cycle actually, how it goes. They are opposite. The pulmonary arteries carry deoxygenated blood, pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood. Normally, if you see your veins, it's bluish, right? So that is the deoxygenated blood. Yes?
Oh, really?
Yes. That's like, your heart makes love. That is actually at the same time both Imran is asking that how fast is this opening and closing of the valve. If you have ever heard the heart sound using the stethoscope, lub dub. When it is a lub sound, that means these two valves closes. When it is a dub sound, these two valves closes. So you can imagine how fast it is. Okay. Later we will learn also lub dub sound. Okay, just if you don't understand anything, can ask me. And then one more thing, last thing. Between the left and right side of the heart, what is that? There is a muscular valve. Okay, between the left and the right side. So this is the heart. Between the left and the right side of the heart, there is a muscular valve that is called as septum. What is the purpose of that? To prevent the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. In some people, some babies by birth, there is a hole in that. So their blood gets mixed and suddenly their skin becomes bluish, and then because of the mixing of blood. So usually the doctor needs to operate to close that valve. One last thing. Semilunar valve also has a specific name. This semilunar valve, it brings blood to the pulmonary, right?
Yeah.
So it's called pulmonary valve. This one brings blood through the aorta, so it's called aortic valve. Okay? Semilunar valve also has two names. Another, the one that is bringing through pulmonary is called pulmonary valve. That is on the right side. The left side one is called aortic valve.